What genre of film or what kind of film are you dying to do, but for some reason they won't offer it to you?
I think all of us sitting here must be dying to do a genre the other one has done at some point.
Sure.
And seen and gone like,
I want to do a gangster.
I love that, why didn't I get that? You know? Like I would love to do a film about a rap star.
So Gully
We
Boy
learn
for
from that.
you, a gangster film for you.
Gangster film. I just
Kind of
saw
genre
Irishman.
that the kind of genre-
Action. I haven't done an
Yeah.
action film, great action film for a long time.
That's true, actually.
Border.
Yeah.
But I've not done it.
It's
I
been-
would
yeah.
love to do a good action film now.
And I want to ask each of you, what was that one scene or that one moment in your respective films that represented why you wanted to do that?
I think that in section a lot of the monologues, like the
Yeah.
big dialogues, 2-3 pages. That was.
Most actors would be intimidated by monologues.
So was I. But you don't get an opportunity to do it in most films. So I
Sure.
think that was something that really drew me to it.
Akshay, Section 375 was this very intelligent courtroom drama that takes the very complex subject of rape and the law's position on rape. And it actually sort of explores the gray areas. It actually explores the, the complexities of the law, the murkiness of the law, how it's abused frequently. You played the defense counsel who's not an especially likable person. He is, he's constantly bullying the victim. He digs up uncomfortable details of the relationship between the accused and the victim. Did you have reservations about how your character might come off looking, especially in today's times when the climate is about believe the women, when Me Too is a reality? Did you ever have any reservations about how this lawyer would come off looking, that he'd look like he's on the wrong side of the argument?
No. I just liked the way it was written. I really liked the writing. It was really good, very tight and very authentic. And gave me a great opportunity as an actor.
Sure. To each of you, is there anything in your performances that you would change? When you look back at it, do you feel like I could have done this differently, or I would do this differently given the chance?
I think you feel excited at times while you give a take, and then you realize probably I've given a great take, and you watch yourself on the monitor. Nahi yaar, ye better ho sakta hai. So, and sometimes you're not excited. It depends on what the camera is showing. Yeah, what comes through. It's so magical. But at times you're so confident, you don't want to look yourself.
Right.
कि यार मुझे पता है सही है.
This is right.
That's the magic moment that happens. So I don't watch my films. I just watch it once, not more than that. In the edit or probably cast and crew screening.
Correct.
So never after it's come.
Akshay, you never watch. Apparently, I read somewhere that
I
you
watch all my
You do?
Once, as you said, once.
Once, yeah, once.
Do you look at your performance and think of how you'd fix it if you could do it again?
Not in the last few years, but maybe if my earlier work which
Right.
I've done, yeah, maybe if I see it now, I probably hate it.
Yeah.
So Hamraz.
That usually
Sir,
happens.
Hamraz, I loved him in Hamraz. What a character,
I
yaar.
usually hate it.
क्या बात कर रहे हो सर आप? What do you hate? Sir, that song किस्सा हम लिखेंगे. हलचल film, right?
I don't remember. I think so.
हमराज का गाना.
नहीं, हमराज का दूसरा है. ये तो किस्सा हम लिखेंगे हलचल कैसे है?
No, that was a Priyadarshan film.
प्रियदर्शन film.
Has there been a role that you said no to initially, that you didn't want to do for whatever reason, but you changed your mind? Perhaps because you were convinced by the director's vision, perhaps the filmmaker or the writer convinced you to look at it in a different perspective and it made sense to you. Was there a role that you didn't necessarily think was right, but you had a different opinion on?
Article 15, though I had extracted the script out of Anubhav sir, but when I read the first draft, I was like, sir, आपको मुझे पढ़ाना ही नहीं चाहिए था. It's just so vanilla. There's nothing exciting in it. And in my head, I had said no. He's like, give me 2 months. He came back after 2 months, and I was shocked. Ki, what have you done in these 2 months?
Right.
So that happened with me.
Also, it's treated so well. It's one of the most cinematic.
It is. It's
shot,
beautifully cinematic.
atmospheric
It's actually the
film.
craft is
It's
so.
like,
It's atmospheric. So atmospheric.
And the
yeah.
Moochie, man.
Mooch nahi to smooch nahi. Look at that. दो back-to-back फिल्मों में mooch.
You've done all versions of the mustache possible for any actor. But you know, you have a very nice mustache and your hair is very soft. Like you can shape it in many different ways.
Comes golden.
Yeah. Golden. I have like thickish growth, so it's
मेरा भी
difficult
thick
to
है.
mold it.
You have to cut from here also. तो उसको यहाँ पे कोशिश करनी पड़ती है.
I'm the only one clean shaved on it.
Yeah.
हाँ? The only one clean shaven, yes.
Acha, has there been a role that you said no to initially?
Yeah, Khilji actually.
What are you saying?
Yeah. I found the character so loathsome, like so despicable, so despicable and so dark, so messed up that it was actually out of just sheer fright, fear, you know, that. And I told Sanjay sir, this might take me into sort of like a hole that I may not come back from or come out of. You know, I can see myself going a bit balmy on this guy, and I don't know if I'm at that stage in my life. I was very happy. DP and I were going to get married. You know, it was all like roses. You know, touch wood, Jhullelal. But Mr. Bansali convinced me very quickly. I remember that one moment on his balcony, eating machi curry, and we were just going back and forth. I was apprehensive. And he got frustrated. He could not have said another word to convince me. And he just got frustrated. He put his chawal back in his plate like this. My boy, don't you want to play a character who's got 75 kilo balls? So I was like, you know what? I mean, I'm on.
That was the
Yeah, that's it.
The 75 kilo balls.
Yeah.
And how smashing were you?
So it was. I mean, it took some doing, but most times I'm an interval green lighter. I'm like, yeah.
By interval, you're
Interval. Interval I know. By the interval I know.
Yeah, but you know whether you're interested in a movie. By the way.
Yeah, of course.
Then you're getting
Yeah, yeah.
into, if there is an issue, you're getting
Yeah.
into what needs to be resolved, but you're still doing that movie. You might want to say, yaar, ye mere ko samajh mein nahi aaya. But if by interval you're, have you ever like done a movie that you're not in by the time you've reached interval and then suddenly decided to do it when you heard the second half? Like, I've never had a movie like that.
You've never been in that position where you changed your mind about.
I can't remember, no. I know. But it's really interesting to hear what they're talking about because it resonates with me.
What, sir?
What you're talking about, the interval, and you know, you get a sense of if you want to do
How
this.
long into a narration or into a script do you kind of
It
know?
would vary from script to script, but I think what they're saying is absolutely right. It resonates with me.
Right.
You know very quickly whether you're interested in it or not. Yeah.
But I want to make a point about what we were discussing earlier. And I think that's pretty common amongst us all, which is interesting that once you've done it, you're not hung up on revisiting it, going over what you could have done differently. Jo ho gaya,
Right.
wo to chhap gaya ji. And since then you've evolved as a person also. You don't want to go back. You will cringe if you go back.
Idea is to move on.
You know? Yeah.
Because
move on.
it is a
So what
performance.
Ayushman was saying, it goes on. I was reading the papers today and there was a great quote from somebody, I don't remember. He said, if I have to sum up everything I've learned about life in 3 words, it's this. It goes on.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a fact. Yeah, it's a fact.
I need to ask Akshay sir, ताल फिल्म में जो आपने ग्लासेस फेंके थे ना, that was beautiful. वो उस टाइम पे क्या चल रहा था आपके दिमाग पे?
I can't remember.
You don't remember?
You know, my memory with Tal was
What a beautiful film.
I remember seeing that promo where he falls in the water. You know, and I was a wannabe actor at that time. And you know, he falls in the water in slow motion and then you see him go inside and he's still in the shot. And I used to always try and go in the pool and see कि मैं अपनी मतलब हवा इतने रोक के रख सकता हूँ कि नहीं. Because I am a little claustrophobic about water. So that was one of the things I felt कि I must be able to do this if I want to be an actor. It was weird. It's weird, but yeah.
Akshay, you know, actually, you're sort of the most experienced in this group. You know, you've been making movies for longer than the others have. In fact, you started just when sort of Hindi cinema was going through that really exciting change, when there was that whole tectonic change taking place. And Dil Chahta Hai, your film, was in fact the marker for how, you know, for the point at which sort of,
Not just that, not just that, but actually the
Original gangster.
The sur at
nice to hear, sir?
which people
he
spoke.
performed.
That's
And
true.
specifically him. I must say, like specifically him, when I saw him,
Yeah.
he gave you so much
And it was an invisible
confidence
performance.
that as an
Yeah.
actor,
गाना था.
you know.
कैसी है ये
रुत के जिसमें फूल जान के गुल खिले na 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 na. You know, he's acting like he has forgotten this song.
You've forgotten?
Absolutely, it's one of my favorite songs.
Beautiful song.
गीत बारिश तितलियां हम पे हो गए सब मेहरबान.
Did you know
But
at the
what a
time
lovely thing to hear about that, sir. It really did, and I would totally like put this on the table. It changed the landscape of Hindi films.
Yeah, but the credit has to go
the
to Farhan.
syntax.
Yeah.
The syntax.
Did you know though at the time this was something different, that you all were doing something different?
Yeah, you get the sense of that, yeah, definitely. The writing was so good and so fresh, and Farhan was just amazing. I think the credit of Dil Chahta Hai goes to him totally. I don't know why he's not made another one.
Yeah.
I really
Or even
don't.
just revisit those characters and see where they may be today, what they're up to.
But what really intrigues me is, as an actor, stepping into a film like Dil Chahta Hai, something that you could say has never ever been made before.
Yeah.
You know, in that
Not in Hindi
cinematic
cinema, for
language.
sure,
yeah.
yeah.
In that.
And you know what? He was
in
actually
that
attached to a
syntax.
different role. Weren't you meant to play the other role?
No, I wanted to play.
Right.
Who is character?
Amir.
Akash.
But I can't think of anyone else
And
playing
Farhan said, no,
Sid.
I've written this for you. So I was like, okay.
What's the last thing that you do before you step out of the van to give your shot?
It's a very private question. I refuse to answer it.
I mean, random things.
I've said it before. So
What do you
Could
do?
be random things, anything.
I pray.
You pray?
Have you spoken the truth?
You can
Do you actually pray before everything?
Yeah,
I take a leak. That's actually what I do.
Actually, do you have a process?
No, not really, no. I don't have a process. I don't have a process. Even if I do, I don't know how to talk about it.
Right, you've said that to me before, yeah.
But
Don't
it's
want to
amazing
talk
to hear
about
these
it,
guys,
or
huh?
You don't want to talk about it, or you?
I can't talk about
You
it.
just-
because I can't intellectualize it or
Right.
talk about it. Or
You've said it's
That's
very
great.
internal.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
it's amazing to hear
ये
these
अपने
guys.
आप में intellectualization है कि नहीं? Can't intellectualize is intellectual in its own way.
Of course it is.
But it's great to hear these guys, especially what Ranveer said about being, saying thank you every
Yeah.
time before he leaves the van.
Yeah.
It's an incredible thing.
Amitabh Bachchan just completed 50 years of acting. 50 years. And he's tireless. He continues to make 2-3 films a year. He's got a very busy television show. He does ads. He's constantly on his toes. Do you sometimes think about how long you'd like to be doing this job, how long you'd like to be working? You all work very hard. It is a very consuming job. Would you like to be doing this forever, or do you have other interests and other passions that you hope to make time for, which perhaps you're not able to do now because the acting gig's going so well?
My question to myself is usually the other way around. It's usually like, how long would people still want to see me?
Right.
I think that's the larger question that always bothers me, because the ball is actually in that court.
Yeah.
I mean, the more you work, the more you understand, because you go through ups and downs, and I've had quite a few. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years. I've seen some extreme lows, some highs, and a couple of really big highs. But the larger question always is, how long will people offer me work? And more importantly, how long will people offer me work that actually excites me?
Right.
And which actually gets me going deep within, which stirs my soul, because that's essentially what keeps me going. And that's why I do this job.
It's easy to say, as long as my body supports me, I'd like to work. But what Shahid said is more important. I mean,
Right.
the audience has to keep wanting to watch you.
Right.
That has to last, more important than the body.
Right.
So, whichever lasts longer.
In your case, Akshay, it's also interesting because I wonder, you work sporadically. You don't necessarily work round the clock. Is that also what keeps the interest alive? The fact that it's not all that it's not the only thing that you do.
No, I actually prefer to work like how Ayushman's working right now.
Right. As
He's
busy as that,
churning out
yeah?
a lot of stuff,
Right.
okay? My preference is that
Sure.
much more than working sporadically.
Right. If you could take one performance that that for you represents the best acting that you've seen. I know this is a tough one, and I know this is a...
Generally in life,
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one I felt really
Yeah.
strongly about now is watching The Crown recently.
Yeah.
Olivia
Colman. Isn't she incredible?
you
Single
prefer
tear.
to Claire Foy,
Touches,
sir.
Yeah. Touches the soul.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It really does.